This AI influencer isn't real. She wasn't photographed by a camera. She doesn't have a photographer. She doesn't have a modeling agency. And she doesn't even exist. Yet, creators are now building entire AI influencer businesses around workflows powered by Claude. Just a few months ago, building an entire AI influencer meant writing a prompt after prompt, constantly fixing generations, organizing files manually, and wasting hours trying to keep your character consistent. Today, Claude changes that workflow completely. Instead of spending most of your time creating an account, you can spend most of your time growing the business. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how this workflow works, how creators are generating large batches of realistic AI influencer content, why realism is becoming more and more important than perfection, and how Claude fits exactly into the entire AI OFM process. If you're serious about AI influencers in 2026, this is a workflow that you should understand. Before we jump in, there's one mistake almost every beginner makes. They think the AI model is the business. It's not. The AI is simply just the product. The real business is building traffic, building attention, and converting that attention into paying customers. Claude simply removes one of the biggest bottlenecks, creating consistent content. Everything starts with the right influencer, not the prettiest influencer, the most memorable one. Before generating anything, decide exactly who you're creating. Is she a fitness creator, a gamer, a luxury lifestyle influencer, a college student, a traveler? The clearer you identify, the easier it is to future-proof every piece of content and how the influencer becomes who they are. The goal isn't random AI pictures. The goal is building something people will actually remember. Once you decided on their specific character, Claude becomes your main creative assistant. Instead of manually thinking dozens of prompts, Claude can organize the ideas, suggest scenes, build different situations, help structure consistent content generations. Think of Claude less like an image generator and more like the creative director behind your influencer. That's a completely different way of thinking. You're no longer creating one photo, you're building an entire content system. Now comes the part most people get wrong. They chase perfection, but the perfection often looks fake. The content that's performing right now looks natural. Selfies, coffee shops, mirror photos, gym sessions, restaurants, walking outside, at home, hanging outside. Real life in general beats perfect lighting. So the goal is to make the viewers believe the actual person exists instead of just making content. But creating the content is actually the easy part. The real challenge begins after the images are finished. Because having 100 great AI photos doesn't automatically make money, in the next section, I'm going to show you what actually happens after you create the content that is created, how creators organize it, how they build traffic, why that's where almost all of the money is actually made. Now, here's where most people stop. They generate a bunch of great looking AI photos, save them to a folder, and they think they're ready to make money. But content by itself doesn't generate income. Content creates attention. Attention creates profile visits. Profile visits create opportunities. And then only those opportunities can become paying customers. That's why your workflow shouldn't end when Claude finishes generating images. That's actually where the real work begins. Instead of creating 5 photos every day, think in batches. Create enough content so you have variety, different outfits, different locations, different expressions, different times of day, different activities. When someone lands on your profile, they should feel like they're looking at a real person's life, not the same image repeated over and over and over. Variety makes the account feel authentic. Consistency makes it more memorable. Here's something I think a lot of beginners underestimate. Creating the content is only one part of the system. Distribution is actually what determines whether people ever see it. That means posting consistently, testing different content, paying attention to what performs, and refining your approach over time. AI helps you produce content faster, but you still have to learn what your audience responds to. The goal isn't to just generate more, it's to generate smarter. Before you try this workflow, avoid these mistakes. First, don't obsess over perfect images. Authenticity is usually what makes it perform better. Second, don't rely on one type of content. Build variety. Third, don't spend all day generating content while ignoring distribution. And finally, don't expect one upload or one workflow to build a business overnight. Consistency compounds. Let's put this entire workflow together. Choose an influencer identity. Use Claude to organize and accelerate your creative workflow. Build a library of realistic content Focus on consistency rather than perfection. Then spend your energy on distribution, testing, and improving. That's how the workflow fits together. Claude doesn't replace marketing. It gives you more time to focus on it. If you're serious about learning AI OFM, I've created a community called AI OFM Operators. Inside, I'm building and growing a library of tutorials, workflow breakdowns, prompt templates, discussions focused on AI influencers, Claude, automation, traffic, and monetization. You like to learn alongside me as these tools evolve? Check out the first link in the description. And for the first 10 members, there's a free trial so you can explore everything before deciding if it's right for you. If you found this video useful, subscribe because I'll be covering the latest AI tools, AI OFM strategies, and workflow updates as they happen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.